What's up, guys? Remember that show Doomsday Preppers? One of the things that most everybody seemed most nervous about was supply line disruptions. And during COVID, we saw that everybody became a prepper of at some level. Um, and the toilet paper gangs rose up, and people started hoarding toilet paper. I don't know why that was the thing, but today we're talking about supply line breakdowns. Another thing I thought was funny about the toilet paper gangs was that if there's no food, what do you need toilet paper for, right? You have to be like, putting stuff in for it to come out. Why was toilet paper like the thing that everybody was hoarding? And of course, we saw eggs go up too. I remember there were people driving 2 hours to get their eggs from us, and that was just really a crazy thing that things weren't available in stores like they used to. And that what we talked about yesterday, the cost push inflation, when people feel like their dollar tomorrow won't buy as much as their dollar today. So it leads to this hoarding mentality, and it further disrupts supply lines. Supply lines are built today on like just in time shipping, and it aims to deliver goods like just when they're needed, not too early, not too late. I think it was helped a lot by like the rise of technology, AI, but really it was a move to streamline the profit structure of companies. We stored stuff in warehouses for a long time, and those became really expensive for like real estate and to like build. And someone came up with the idea of, hey, let's use the highway system as the warehouse. So we'll produce exactly what we need. We'll put it on boats. We'll put it on trains. We'll put it on trucks, and then it will arrive at the stores like just when people need it, because we can see what our inventories are like, and we'll be all right. And so one thing just in time shipping is really good about is like predictable order flow. But what happens when things aren't predictable and they don't arrive in time? We get backups in the system. Remember the ships like parked out in the ocean during COVID, like just miles and miles worth of ships, because one, people didn't come to work, and two, those supply lines were distorted, and it was just difficult to get the stuff off of ships. And by the time it was, like, a lot of it was rotted or not great, like in the case of food, But I still hear experts talking about prices remaining high today because of that supply line disruption. So I was trying to buy some fence during COVID, and I learned firsthand about like the supply lines disruptions that way. It was weeks and weeks and weeks. They said that like the fence was coming, and I was trying to do what I talked about earlier and just like spend the money for stuff that I knew that I would need, and so I could be working as like things continued to shut down. But so we got our fence, but ultimately it was like they didn't know when the fence was coming. I couldn't order it specifically for me, and it was like I could only get 4 rolls at a time, 8 rolls at a time. And those of you that have done fencing knows that uh, fence gets eaten up real quick, particularly that like woven wire. Um, but it was just crazy, and so I remember fence posts were as high as $100, and then that further leads to cost push inflation, further like getting everybody to hoard. So I guess the lesson of this is that like we want to stockpile a little something. Now we're not talking like a bunker. Maybe we are talking a bunker, depending on the size of like your goal, your family. But remember the saying: "A cave is a grave to a well prepared adversary." So we have to move our prepping into production, and that's what homesteading is to me. Transitioning from this like hoarding mentality to abundance mentality, and knowing that like we are our own producers, and the ability to create those safe spaces comes from our labor and our production and our connection to the landscape. So examine what you eat. You shouldn't be planting stuff that you don't enjoy. Examine your group size, and return to nature and implement those systems of your own production. I, like what we were talking about yesterday, homesteading is the only way that we can participate and take part and remain like non-violent while actually changing the world, right? So like so many revolutions have become violent, but being that shining light on the hill as a homesteader, let others be inspired by the production that you can pull from the landscape. And if you're a homesteader, if you're aspiring for this life, you are extremely blessed to be where you are, and the future is bright for those that are living close to the land. It's our mission to help other people get back to nature and lessen the demands on a system that doesn't care about you. Um, there's so much abundance out there, and you can really tap into it if you are close to nature and not depending on just in time shipping. So imagine a world where abundance is all around. And people go to like their neighbors instead of the big box store. That day feels closer and closer for me, and there's great. The biggest gains are going to be for those who have gotten there first. So get after it, right? Thanks for watching this video. If you made it this far, I know you're serious about getting after it and have a passion for life and surviving whatever the universe throws at you. Drop us a like and subscribe, but ultimately sustainablehomestead.com is the place for more information. Shave decades off the time it would take you to figure this stuff out on your own. Look through our resource library. Sign up for our Wednesday night homestead mastermind course where we have homesteaders, ranchers, project managers, farmers, survivalists, bushcrafters, makers. We all come together and discuss creating abundance for ourselves, our families, and our communities. It's really a wonderful group. And if you want the sheer download of information, I encourage you to join us in person for one of our survival essentials workshops, our survival evolutions, or our homesteading permaculture classes. As always, preparation today means peace of mind tomorrow. So we'll see you in the future. Thanks for watching.